The most important question anyone will ever ask you is, what do you do? You have to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, you can't be a positive influence in the world. You really can't. I got this yesterday. This is Alpha Channel. This is The Edge. Hey guys, this is John with the Alpha Channel update for Saturday, May 25th, 2024, here in Los Angeles. I have some art to show you, some of mine and some that is not mine. This is from the Ewoks cartoon, Star Wars cartoon, way back. This is why, when Niccolo Machiavelli said in The Prince, if you want to conquer somewhere, go there to live. Scotty, got some Star Trek here, Spock. Aren't these cool? These are just so awesome. Here's one more Spock, and I think that's going to be it for today on this. We'll do some more tomorrow. I am trying to keep these short. I have overindulged, and if I let myself, I would blow my whole load, as they say, in one single 18-hour video, and no one would watch it. So here's some pencils, just some roughs, some kids skating on toward a sidewalk that's lifted up. Again, just blue lines. There's a reason I'm showing this. These are awful. I want to show you how awful it is because I want to show you how quickly it gets better. This isn't much better, but it's a good posture. And we have one more before I start my little lecture about our social circumstances that we all share. And what it means to be doing this, what it means to be doing a brand, and why I'm doing this. There's a Bill and Ted aspect to this, right? Like, they're going to make the song that saves the world. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to write the song that unites all humanity. And of course they couldn't do that. No one can do that. It's impossible. But I have some ideas about how to do that. One of them, I do want to show you. I did find this. This is my sales idea to unite humanity. This is the hand-painted hand grenade for, it says boom here on the handle. If you can read that, see if the light shines on it a little bit like that. Maybe if I hold it like this, you can see it a little bit better. So I want to do a whole series of these hand-painted hand grenades. I got 4 more here that I can do. And these, of course, I have to promote Legacy of a Mad Scientist and Legend of Ashley Fox. These are both audiobooks here on YouTube. 13 hours each, 26 total hours of magnificent storytelling. You can download the novels for free from Smashwords, digital novels. You can buy them, have them shipped to your home from Amazon.com. You can find those links on ashleyfox.ninja, or just go to Amazon and search my name, John Carrick, or Legend of Ashley Fox, or Legacy of a Mad Scientist, and you'll find all that stuff there. So, a little bit of Marvel before I do get into my... there's a bit in here in the Punisher magazine somewhere. It must be in the one that I don't have of the first 5, where Jim Lee did a how the Punisher fights, like the Punisher's Kung Fu. And it is just magnificent. If you can get a hold of that, I swear to God, I bought these just for that, and I must have misplaced it, kind of like I misplaced this. Let me show you that again, just because that's so cool. I'm so proud of this. This is such a great idea. Hand-painted hand grenades. I'm going to sell these. You'll be able to buy them on Etsy or eBay or wherever your finer things are sold. So this is just black and white, and it's genius. And Jim Lee had this bit in here about how the Punisher fights. And Shorin Ryu, I remember, was one of his styles that he'd study with. It had a soft block and a hard counter. So you sucker the enemy in, and then you elbow them in the ribs and snap a couple ribs. Look at how magnificent this comic book is. Even the back page, they didn't waste it on ads. They just didn't add for more magazines, more comic books. This is back when Marvel was magnificent. And if you looked through all the details in something like Mad Magazine, these front pages, this would just be filled with humor. Everything would be a joke. They didn't take any of it seriously. And why would you? It's comic books. It's not meant to be taken seriously. Which is interesting that I'm going to talk so boldly about this brand stuff. But branding, look, what you do determines who you are. it sets up everything about your life. You know what I mean? It's the most important question anyone will ever ask you. I'm going to plug someone who was a friend briefly while I was out here in Los Angeles. A guy who told me once that you're in the entertainment capital of the world. I had remarked on a mellow afternoon, I'm bored. And he said, this was very polite of him, how he did this for me. He didn't do it. Oh, and then one more thing I wanted to show off. I got this yesterday. This is Alpha Channel. This is the edge. This is being proud when you go down hard. I ripped up my knee. So now this knee is bruised. This knee is bruised from like 2 months ago. I still have a scar on my shin from when I took a hockey puck like a year ago. I love being alive. I love living in California right now. And I want to talk about this shirt a little bit. But first, let me jump back to this fellow who told me, you're in the entertainment capital of the world. If you're bored, you must be boring. And that's not quite how he said it. What he said was, look, John, you're in the entertainment capital of the world. Let me tell you something my dad told me. When I said I was bored, he said, if you're bored, you must be boring. And I resolved that I would never be boring again. So I think for this fellow, that was his moment, his break with his father, because he took that personally, the same way I took the bit about the wild dog. And then the first time you threaten a wild dog, it will never come back. And only tame dogs keep coming back. And so in my mind, that was the day that I broke with my old man. He was never going to beat me again. I'd never be mentally coming back to him for anything. So this guy said, he told me this bit about if you're bored, you must be boring. And that stuck in my head. I've never been bored since. Going on 25 years, I think. And I've never known a moment of boredom since. So yeah, the guy who told me if you're bored, you must be boring, also told me the most important question anyone will ever ask you is, what do you do? And how you answer that tells other people everything about you. That you have to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, you can't be a positive influence in the world. You really can't. You can't love yourself. If you hate what you do, you certainly can't love yourself. That seems so elementary, right? So that's what leads me to this. Because the guy who said those things, you have to love what you do, and if you're bored, you must be boring. There's a reason I'm not saying his name, right? I really respect the guy. We were great friends. But I've had a couple of my friends tell me they don't want to be associated with me. That the things I say here are so offensive to them that they can't be associated with me. I just watched that film Civil War, and I have some opinions about that. I heard people say that they didn't know which side was which. It was really clear to me which side was which. It was really clear to me. And if you didn't understand, you're not paying close enough attention. If you didn't understand which side was which, and this country goes into a civil war, you're going to wake up very confused one day. And let me explain about this. The last time in my life I was even close to as happy as I am now was when I was attending this school. This is a martial arts Tai Chi school called the Taoist Institute in North Hollywood. I believe they're either completely private now. They're not open to the public at that location anymore. They may have moved. The instructor may be giving private classes. I fell out of touch with them over the course of Trump's first campaign, because in a room full of people that I thought were my best friends, I realized that not only did none of them know me, they didn't care to know me, and they were not my friends at all. So completely condescending to just the rest of the country, to people they'd never met, to the anti-white hate that I felt at this school, where I felt the most loved anywhere in the city. These were my best friends at that time. I had to stop going there. So I can't say people's names because they're going to associate me with, terrible ideas. But that the truth is, all the terrible ideas are coming from them. All the exclusion and intolerance is coming from them. So I had to stop not that I wore this out in public, but it's just sitting in the closet now. It only came out for today. I am much more happy skateboarding. This happened yesterday. Went down a flight of stairs, ate it on the asphalt, and I don't need anybody else to be happy now. My happiness depended on being part of a group. I don't need that now. Now I could start my own group. I have immediate family, some of whom talk to me, some we don't talk that often. They have their own kids. You know what I mean? It's not like we check in with each other every week to say, "Hey, how's your life plans going?" No one has time for that. Everyone's doing family. You're adults now. I remember how little I saw my aunts and uncles, and I don't feel offended that I don't get as much time as I'd like with my nieces and nephews. But that's okay. Look, I'll show you one more picture, just because this one's really good, and it's really cool, and I want to show it to you. This is awesome. This is logic being seized by reptilians, right? So, the Tiger's Cave, right? That's what I want to talk about. Skateboarding is the Tiger's Cave. And meditation, martial arts, a lot of these things are considered to be the Tiger's Cave. Isolated meditation, what they call Vipassana, which is like 3 weeks of not even speaking to anyone. And what they mean when they say that is there's a lot of footsteps leading in, but not many leading out. So skating, you don't hear about, unless they got really hurt. I mean, I guess you talk to people who used to skate, but people who are capable of it are doing it. Look, I'm so happy about this injury. You should have seen it yesterday. It was all pink and red, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It felt great. It wasn't as good as when you hit really hard and your whole body starts to sweat, but this was pretty good. I went down pretty hard. And lots of footprints going in, but not many coming out. It's all an ocean. There is no path to this place. That's an interesting thing too. There is no path to this place. There's no right way to get here. Okay? Everything is the Welt, which is, disaster can come at any time. I've seen so many families get destroyed by circumstance, by carelessness, by thoughtlessness, by pride, by envy, by spite. I've watched people push through living together and doing it, for the kids. And sometimes that's been beneficial. At least in my case, my parents stayed together, and I'm really grateful for that. I don't know where I would be if they had split up. My life would have been just even more of a disaster than it is now. I guess the only reason my life's not a disaster is that I've found my center. You know what I mean? I could lose everything and not have lost anything. The first page, I wish I had some of my novels. I've given them all away. The first page of my novel, I took an excerpt from the Kung Fu school that Ashley and her brother Jeff go to when they run away. And the teacher, actually it's not the one they go to this is the one that they go to when they run away, but this is when they go first time for camp. And the teacher, the instructor is explaining to them, we're going to teach you something that will make you that it will be valuable to you forever. It can't be stolen. Someone can come and take all your possessions, take your land, kill your family, but they can never take away something you've learned. And that's the most valuable thing in the world. So no one can take away the fact that I know how to ride a piece of wood with cheap bearings and wheels. No one can, the fighting thing, it takes two people to fight. I can't take anyone with me. I'm at an age where I have to do this alone. I watch the YouTube guys who talk about skating with their friends and everything. I can't. Because everyone I know, I couldn't ask them to do this for the same reason no one could have asked me when I was younger, because it would have cost me my hand to draw. And I wasn't even producing great artwork. I was rarely working on storyboards for independent film companies. Stuff that no one ever saw. It wasn't like I was doing storyboards for movies. So I was so afraid of losing something that I wasn't even using that I stayed away from. And I don't know that this could have made me super happy back then, but it certainly does now. So, all you can do is talk about where you are, right? All you can do is talk about the present moment. And the present moment for me is hard to beat. I'm going to do comic books, hand-painted hand grenades. I posted a little bit. I watch a lot of martial arts on YouTube because I have a heavy bag in my room and I work out every day. Today was chest. So one of the things I've always seen, and I never did in martial arts class, was swing my arm back on a round kick. And I will plug that in here. It's a very easy thing not to do. I don't know why they teach it. I suspect that that's a trap in martial arts, that if you can only kick round kicks by swinging your arm down, someone's going to take your head off. I don't ever put my arm down to do that. So I'll put it in right here. Hey guys, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and now seemed like a good opportunity as any. So quite simply, that is, you don't have to swing this arm back when you throw a round kick. You don't swing it back to throw a front kick. So why would you swing it back to throw a round kick? Just keep it out here like a gun sight, keep your elbow anchored, and kick. That's all there is to it. You can even exaggerate it a little bit, but I've got a light right here. It's super easy. Yeah, there is something else I want to talk about here. Who's doing the heavy lifting for your brand? Are you leaving it to the artists? Are you leaving it to the marketing company? Are you leaving it to, is it just catch as catch can? Is it whimsy? Are you making a decided effort to do something? This is the most toxic product I can think of. This fulfills everything I want in a marketing product, right? It's kind of funny, it's crass, it's rude, it's offensive, it's toxic masculinity. This is Alpha Channel. And on the back here, I think if I don't go out skating later this afternoon, I'm gonna put our logo and Alpha Channel in that bright magenta color. And then epoxy it, because I'm so glad I found that. So yeah, who's doing the heavy lifting? If you're bored, you must be boring. What do? Less is less, more is more, and twice as much is good too. Not enough is bad, and too much is never enough, except when it's just about right. Ben Edlund said that through The Tick. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later.